Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I am Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion. A poetry discussion that comes to us from Emily Dickinson, and in as much it will appear in two separate playlists here on the channel. Number one, obviously, the poetry discussion playlist, but number two, I started a new playlist for Emily Dickinson content. This poetry discussion will appear in that playlist as well. But real quick, guys, if you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel. Poetry every Monday, poetry more often than that even, but also novel read-alongs, short story discussions, as well as a little bit of writer talk. And in fact, I have started working writer's notes into the novel read-alongs that I do here on the channel. So if you find yourself here by chance but not design, consider hitting the subscribe button in order to stick around for more. And if you want to help me out with what I'm doing on the channel, if you hit that like button, it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. Now, we have a poem here from the incomparable Emily Dickinson. Adrift, a little boat adrift, and it reads as such. Adrift, a little boat adrift, and night is coming down. Will no one guide a little boat unto the nearest town? So sailors say on yesterday, just as the dusk was brown, one little boat gave up its strife and gurgled down and down. So angels say on yesterday, just as the dawn was red, one little boat o'erspent with gales retrimmed its mast, redecked its sails, and shot exultant on. One thing that I always have to wonder with a poem like this is whether or not this was found poetry. And what I mean by that was whether or not Emily Dickinson did, in fact, witness a boat drifting as dusk set one day and just ran with it. But that's something that I wonder just on my own. That's neither here nor there for a poetry discussion. We have here, at least to my reading, either two separate boats or one boat, but the second time it's in the afterlife, right? So adrift, a little boat adrift, and night is coming down. Will no one guide the little boat unto the nearest town? Pardon me. We have here just this image of a boat that is haplessly drifting. So sailors say on yesterday, just as the dusk was brown. The sailors around have told this story, and it was just as the sun was setting. One boat gave up its strife, one boat gave up, and gurgled down and down, gloop, 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 sank. So angels say on yesterday, just as the dawn was red. Well, red and brown, if you think about it, especially in terms of light, they're not very far from one another. You might describe many red skies as brownish, and vice versa. So are we talking about the same boat? Because these angels say that on yesterday, just as the dawn was red, as opposed to brown, brown being earthy, red being heavenly or fiery, one little boat overspent with gales retrimmed its mast, redecked its sails, and shot exultant on. Well, why are the angels talking about it? What do the angels have to do with sailing? We know what the sailors have to do with sailing. But if that boat is the same boat as our first boat, well, those angels are talking about a life that's been spent and come up on the other side of things. And this is, I think, the main talking point with this poem. If we're talking about this poem on a metaphorical level, I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, if you don't know where you're going, any boat will take you there. If you if you don't know where you're sailing, any wind will take you there. Any number of combinations of these words. That's the way so many of us live our life. We don't really know where we're going. We don't really know how to get there. And if we don't know how to get there, well, we just start and we'll end up there. But that is not the case. This boat didn't know where it was going, and, well, it gurgled down and down. Is that the way that we should live our life? Because this boat that found itself gurgling down and down ended up springing back up with the angels. Maybe that's where you'd like to end up. I don't know. I can't answer for you. To accidentally find yourself there, shooting exultant on towards the heavenly light, might be a bit of a bummer. Especially considering that this existence is the only existence that we're sure we have. We know we get this crack. We get this crack at things, and we know that much. We don't know anything else. But we have an onlooker in our speaker. Will no one guide a little boat unto the nearest town? We have our speaker, that onlooker, who is begging someone to give that metaphorical boat, that individual like you and me, begging for someone to give that little boat direction. Just guide them to the nearest town, that's all. That's all that boat needs. Guide them to the nearest town. But no one does. And they still tell the story about it. So sailors say, on yesterday, just as the dusk was brown, right? One little boat gave up its strife and gurgled down and down. Does that sound particularly seafaring? Gave up its strife? Sounds like the answer to the only existentialist question that exists to me. You wake up every morning and you've got the choice. Do I do it again? One little boat gave up its strife and gurgled down and down. That does not sound like a boat sprung a leak. That sounds like that boat woke up in the morning and said, you know what, never mind. I don't think we're going to do it anymore. So as the angels say on yesterday, just as the dawn was red, a red dawn. In that previous stanza, we had that boat choosing not to sail itself anymore. We have that individual choosing the existential out. Giving up, quitting. Deciding it wants no more. So the angels say on yesterday, just as the dawn was red, one little boat o'erspent with gales, retrimmed its mast, redecked its sails, and shot exultant on. What is this poem about? Is it about a boat? You wake up every morning and there's one question. There's only one real question. That's what the existentialists say. Is that what this poem too is claiming? That's all I have for this poetry discussion. If you enjoy what I do here, hitting the like button tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers across the internet. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing that I do on this channel. Poetry, short stories, novels, some writing stuff. So consider hitting the subscribe button in order to stick around for more. and I hope to have you back for the next one.